What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Or welcome if it's your first time here. You know, prepping is one of those things that most people don't want to talk about. They don't want to think about, because if you talk about prepping and actually start prepping, then you have to think about the possibility of the world as we know it changing dramatically, because that's what you're prepping for. And most people, don't want to think about such things. They want to have happy thoughts. They want to have hope. And when people start prepping, then in their mind they're losing hope. And hope is what keeps everyone going forward, because if there was no hope of tomorrow, then most people would just give up. And prepping to a lot of people is akin to that. In reality it's not, but they see admitting that the world as they know it is going to end as being giving up. They want to think that no matter what, something's going to happen. Someone's going to come in, some politician, some election, something's going to happen to change what's happening now. So they're in denial, and there's a lot of people, in denial. There's a comment posted about a week ago, I think it was, one of my videos, and I think it was a lady, and I'm paraphrasing here now, guys. She said that she's prepping, that she's losing interest pretty much because she doesn't see anything happening. So people keep talking about all these things going to happen, but nothing is happening. And she's failing to see, the big picture. She's failing to look at what's actually going on around her and in the world. She is stepping outside her home and looking in her front yard, for example, and she don't see the world falling apart. She don't see anything going on, because it's like right here, right now, as you can see, everything is peaceful and calm. However, the world right now is a huge mess. So many things going on, guys, right now, that it's scary if you start thinking about it. And that's what I say. Most people don't want to think about it, so they want to make excuses. They don't want to actually prep. They don't want to actually do anything. And they think that if they don't see anything going on in their front yard, in their hometown, if there's not zombies crawling, coming, trying to eat brains all around them, that there's nothing going on and no reason to prepare. And that's because they don't want to see. They want to rationalize in their mind that everything is okay. Because like I said, the prepping part to me is fun. However, to a lot of people, the thought of why they're prepping isn't fun, and it interferes with their perceived notions and the vision that they want to see about the future. And they want to think everything's going to be okay. They want to think there's going to be an election that's going to fix everything. We can just get rid of this puppet in the White House and put another puppet in, everything will be okay. If we can take the Congress, if we can take the Senate, everything will be okay. I got a comment the other day when I was talking about the need for having, alternative heating sources. Someone posted that you preppers, actually several people posted the same type comment. You preppers have been saying it's going to be a dark winter for the last 3 or 4 winters here, and so far nothing has happened yet. Tell it to Europe. You just wait till this winter in Europe, what's happening over there. They went green, or they're trying to push the green agenda, going green all they can. And also Russia has cut off a lot of their energy sources, and this winter they're going to be freezing. They've been cutting back already, trying to cut back on street lights, signs, cutting back on everything they can, electricity wise, try to save some of their reserves for this winter. But it's not going to work. It's going to be a long, cold, dark winter in Europe. And what we see happening in Europe usually comes here. We are usually sheltered in a way and have a few extra months before things happen to us. But it's going to happen here also, guys, because we're pushing the same green agenda. They are pushing the same economic agendas. Print, 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 spend. We saw We saw all kinds of bailouts. We saw all kinds of stimulus. It just billions and trillions of dollars onto the national debt. And they know that the economy's going to crash because they're crashing it on purpose. They have to crash the economy because they want to reset the economy, the Great Reset. They want to reset the economy to do away with cash and to get everyone on a digital type currency because it's all about control. And, you know, if they can cause enough economic devastation, if they can cause war, for example, to get people's attention on that war and to get people's backing, to get the people backing the political system because we have this outside threat, this enemy, this war going on, we have to support our nation or some political figures. It takes everyone's eyes off of the fact they crashed the economy on purpose and they crashed the power grid on purpose. It's all planned. It's all part of Agenda 2020, 2030. It's all part of the agenda. And they're pushing this green agenda forward and they're going to reset the system. They want to reset the economic system. They want to reset the food system. And they want to reset everything. And, you know, they're having some problems here and there with different nations and stuff not wanting to go along with this. However, you know, overall, it's going the way they planned it. They planned for a long, dark winter. They planned for power shortages and power outages and things like that. And they planned for economic collapse. And I think the way they're going to hide that is through a third world war. We're in a world war right now. However, right now it's an economic war. It's a war for the mind. And I think it's going to go hot because you see nations like China and Russia, who are the two other military superpowers in the world. They're making plans. They're preparing for war. They're getting they're getting alternatives set up for the SWIFT system, for example. They're trading in their own currencies. And that's one way the United States has dictated everyone's life for decades because everyone's been on the dollar as the world reserve currency, and that's kept everyone in check. They've had that one system in place, and the United States could use that to levy sanctions to lock down finances of whole countries. And if you look at that, what they do to, you know, Russia, they tried to bankrupt Russia, to lock up to stop their ability to make any transactions in the world, to buy and sell or anything like that. And Russia is getting around that because they have the resources that nations need. And they're saying buy these resources in rubles. And the nations that are trying to sanction Russia is having to do that. So Russia's actually profiting right now. But that's the way the United States and NATO has controlled and dictated world affairs, is through the control of that dollar and control of the financial system. And you see Russia and you see China setting in ways to work around that. So they're taking away the United States and NATO's ability to impose, you know, effective sanctions, because they know that's the way the United States would fight a war against those two countries, because they don't want to go to actual shooting war. You know, so they're putting in ways to get around that. So they're getting ready for war. The United States knows this. NATO knows this. I think it's all being set up and planned, and there's people pushing buttons here and there. Now, not everyone is under their control, but they work things to get the outcome they want. You know, like, in my opinion, they wanted Putin and Russia to invade Ukraine. So they poked, they prodded, they did everything they could to get Russia to actually invade Ukraine, and they did. A lot of psychological operations to get people to do, even leaders of these other nations, to do what they want. These globalists are working overtime to put in their system. And just about everything we see is orchestrated and geared to put in that system in. So guys, just because you don't see things going on right now, like around here, it looks peaceful, it doesn't mean the world is peaceful. Right now, the world is definitely a really, really scary place. And there's so many things going on right now, guys, that anyone who can say that everything is fine, there's nothing going on, they don't see anything happening, is looking at the big picture at all. You know, we have, just here in the United States, we have over $30 trillion in debt, and that just keeps growing and growing and growing because they're spending like there's no tomorrow, because like I said, they're crashing the economy on purpose, because they want to reset the economic system to put us on this digital currency and to get rid of cash. We have supply issues here in the U.S. It's going to get worse. We have inflation. It's going to get worse. We have potential war, like I talked about a minute ago, and it's going to happen. Because we're getting ready for that. You can see it. You can see the actions that they're taking. We will be in World War III, just a matter of time. And I think it's planned, because they're doing that. They have to go to war to hide the fact that they crashed the economy, that they crashed the economic system, that they crashed, you know, the energy system. They've crashed everything to bring in the Great Reset. And they're going to use war to hide that fact. They don't want to be the ones taking the blame. But just because you're not seeing things happen in your front yard doesn't mean things aren't happening, and doesn't mean that you're going to elect some other puppet of the globalist into the White House, or you're going to take back the Congress and the Senate. And things are going to change. It's going to do away with everything we know right now, all this bad things, all the Great Reset. It's going to be just done away with. The economy's going to be just great. The power grid is going to be just great. You know, energy is going to be cheap and abundant. There's going to be crops growing everywhere. It's going to be paradise. All we have to do is elect someone else. Put someone else in the White House. Put someone else in Congress. Put someone else in the Senate. It's going to be good, guys. Yeah, alright. We passed by the point of no return a long time ago, in my opinion. And it's all been on purpose. If you agree, disagree, leave it in the comments below. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks for watching. I'm going to Creekmore out here, and I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully.